Denise Jumper is with us here on the Mendola Show, talking about your daughter, Aubrey. What a great young lady. I'm sure you're very proud of her. You think about all the things she's done. She's involved in theater for a long time, but she said, you know what, my mom pushed me to get into track. Talk about, when that decision was made. Hey, why don't you go try this?
Well, initially, I pushed her to just do sports in general because she was transitioning from a feeder school, a Catholic feeder school, 8th grade, into high school. And so before she was going into the high school, because her feeder school was so small, I just wanted her to make some new friends. And the best vehicle within that Catholic school community was the sports teams. So I started her out in soccer, and she really hated to run in the beginning. And I said, you're doing track. And she's like, I don't want to do track. I don't like running. I said, you're doing track. You'll make a ton of friends. So she started doing track, and she actually liked it, even the running part. But her favorite was the long jump. But what she was noticing was that she wasn't advancing as quickly as her friends. So given the type of person that I am, I decided to start researching to find a better outlet for her to compete against people that had like disabilities. And I came across a meet in New Jersey where it was a ambulatory and wheelchair-based meet. So I signed her up in that, and it just kind of took off from there.
And she travels to New Jersey with a great group of
She
people
does.
and coaches and the whole organization there. It's always nice having a hometown coach, and Kevin Walters is as good as you're going to get. Talk
That's
about
right.
what it's like just watching Kevin work with your daughter.
He's been a tremendous support and advocate for her. I don't think she'd be as good as she is if she didn't have Coach Kevin. I mean, hands down. She has fabulous and fantastic coaches that are in New Jersey, but Coach Kev's here with her every single day. He not only works with her on season for high school track, but he works with her off season. So he's training her year round, and that has been that's what's made the difference for her.
Your daughter is ranked not around here, not in the United States, but in the world at events that she competes in. And, we'll go down the list. It's like, 10th, 14th, 15th, 18th, something like that. Hard to kind of match them up with the 100, the 200, the long jump, but she's really good.
Yes.
Did you ever think she would get to that point?
No. Initially I just wanted her to feel good about herself. So when she was in track here, I just wanted her to recognize that she had talent. I just didn't ever know that she had that much talent because I didn't understand the ambulatory community. And when she got into her events, she really started to excel quickly. And it was very shocking to us. And this year was, because of COVID, she didn't get to compete in 2020. But this year, she got to go to 2 meets, Arizona and Colorado. And I could not get over how well she did. So, I'm really proud of her.
And you and I were talking over the phone. They're like, even, at an early age with her cerebral palsy, there was, it wasn't real clear. Talk a little bit about like her and what she was able to do. And then, as the years went on and kind of identifying some things.
I probably should have recognized that Aubrey had an athletic ability earlier on because we didn't really know that she had cerebral palsy until she was probably about 16 months, and she still wasn't walking. So when she finally did start to walk, she was on her toes. And most kids, when they walk, at some point their heels drop, but hers weren't. The other thing that we noticed was on her right side, her foot was bowing to the side of her, outside of her ankle bone, to the point where that ankle bone was almost touching the ground. So we started talking to her doctors, and through many different appointments and MRIs, they did determine that she had cerebral palsy. So it's essentially brain damage. We believe what happened was that the umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck twice when I was pregnant. It cut the oxygen off and induced a stroke.
She is such a confident young lady, but it wasn't always that way. Like with most people, let's talk a little bit about her development. When did you start seeing that confidence come out? Because I interview a lot of student athletes, and not many have the confidence that she had. As speaking with her, just tremendous confidence.
Well, she was confident when she was little, when she didn't really know that she had a disability. But as she got older, the awareness started to set in. She recognized there was a difference. She had to wear a brace. Her friends didn't. There were moments, very minimal moments, but there were moments where she did get made fun of. They weren't often because she did have a really great support system. So if someone did pick at her, her girlfriends were right there to make sure that she was protected. But I would say she lost her confidence in about junior high. And through this experience, especially with Coach Kevin, she's really kind of gained a lot of that back. I think theater has helped too. I don't want to discredit the fact that the being on stage and what she's been able to do musically has helped her too. I don't know if she told you, but I'm going to tell you that not only when she started in theater, she did audition for Broadway. And she was out of 1,000 kids, she was the top 75 that auditioned for School of Rock. She also has sung at Carnegie Hall. She sings opera. So, those things have contributed to her confidence, but I really do believe the conversations she's had with Coach Kev and the things that he has her involved in and doing have really helped kind of develop that.
It's not easy raising children, and now you got to travel. So you and your husband have done a tremendous job. Talk a little bit about that support system for her, and her brother's a big part of it too.
Yes. Well, I give a lot of the travel credit to my husband. He does a lot. It's funny because we separated ourselves out I always did the music and theater things. He always did the sports activities because of where our knowledge base was. He goes with her everywhere. I do local meets, but I don't do the far traveling meets just because, like you said, we do have another child that I want to make sure doesn't feel neglected. But he's done all of that travel with her. He's a phenomenal advocate and coach for her. He gives her that kind of support, and he just knows how to make her feel comfortable and confident when she's in that situation. Teenage girl and a mom right now. We're at that phase,
dad,
but yeah,
we know.
Right.
We're hoping for the Paralympics for 2024.
We are. Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling as confident as she is? Because she's feeling pretty good about it.
I am. If she keeps on the trajectory that she's on now, and she really takes the time to focus on her training, and it becomes ingrained in her everyday routine, she's gonna soar. I mean, her times with the minimal amount of training that she's done are amazing. So I can only imagine what she's capable of when that training is consistent.
Denise Jumper, very good to catch up with you about your daughter, Aubrey Jumper. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing what her future has in store for her. Thank you.
Thank you.